Yeah, and Bryce has done very well in his sales. After MEP, he actually became an MDRT qualifier. And moving forward, he's also looking at maintaining his production as an MDRT qualifier. At the same time, he's also embarked on starting a team. Am I right? So what are some of the challenges, Bryce, you face? Feel free to ask me any question. I'll be happy to assist you to my best ability. Yeah.
Thanks, Chris, for sacrificing your time on a busy afternoon just to answer these questions that I have.
No issue at all.
As a new manager, I always find there's something that I have to learn. Right? Maybe restart or relearn good habits and delete the bad habits away.
Okay.
My first question is really more so towards, as a new manager, how do I generate recruitment leads now as I'm building my team?
Okay. So to answer that question, it's always about context, right? So the reason why I do this is that by helping Bryce answer his question, this segment can also be useful to some of you out there who could be facing the same problem, right?
Yeah.
So in recruitment, generating leads is always the first step. All right, no leads equal to no new possibilities. Okay, so first thing first, I'm going to ask you this question, right? Have you solved your own lead generation in terms of your sales? So are you able to get consistent stream of leads to help you do your MDRT?
Yes.
The answer is yes, right? So that part, no issue at all.
Yeah.
Okay. So the next thing is, how do you get leads? There are many sources of leads, right? From placing ads in the job portal to digital marketing leads these days, right? To getting referrals, one of my favorite, to joining those campus recruitment, etc., recruit bankers, etc. Now, so the first exercise I'd like you to think through is have a list of all the different source of leads. In fact, why not this way? Why not I send you a list? A part of my coaching material.
Wow,
I send you a list. So what you want to do is give yourself a rating. Yeah. For those of you, if you want that list as well, why don't you put a comment below? You request the list, and I'll be happy to send it to you as well. Okay. So sounds good, right? So
Thanks,
once you have
Chris.
the list, no worries. So what you're going to do is ask yourself, which are the methods, right, that you are good at currently, and compare to where you are to your ideal upon 10. How do you rate yourself? For example, let's just say referrals. If I have more than enough leads every month for myself, in fact there's a spillover, I'll give myself a 9 or 10. If I have enough for myself, I'll give myself 7 or 8 upon 10. If I have occasionally enough quantity but it lacks quality, that means that the profile of the candidate doesn't match my avatar, my customer, my candidate avatar, or my ideal candidate. Occasionally, I have enough quality but not enough quantity. I'll give myself 5 and 6 along the line. 3 or 4 means consistently, you don't have enough quantity and quality. Okay, give yourself a gauge. So upon 10, how do you fare? All right. So the first thing first is I will advise you to optimize on things that you're already good at.
Okay.
That's the first step. Rather than spending money to try on new methods.
So something like recognizing my own strength.
Yes, so that's the first step first. So for example, let's say for me, right, my number one was from referral. You know that I grew a team from 2 with another manager and we grew to 80. And I'm happy to say that close to 90% of the candidates were all referred. So for those who have been trained in the referral revolution, MAP grads especially, if you are able to get leads for referrals for sales, the same process is very similar in terms of recruitment as well. So what you can do after you're getting referrals. So first of all, you and your team member are already good at that, right?
Yeah.
The next thing is you want to do is to ask a simple question. Hey, John, can you see that I'm very happy with my work? How will the person respond?
Yes.
Yeah, I can see that, right? You seem very enthusiastic, you seem very happy. Mr. Kai is so true, I used to work in the bank before, and after I've joined this business, I'm very happy that, while you won't become super rich like the billionaire, but this business pays pretty well. 6-figure is not an issue, right? And there's no boss over me to tell me what to do, to stop me from advancement. And at the same time, if you do pretty well, you can go for holiday at least 1-2 years every year, fully paid for some more.
Yes.
Right. And I got good clients like yourself that actually refer clients to me and appreciate me when they find. I got really nothing to complain about my work. In fact, after doing well and stabilizing my practice, I'm also looking at to use my experience and to personally mentor another 5% or 10% this year, right? So John, I mean, you've been in the corporate world for so long. You have many friends around you as well, right? Do you know of anyone currently who are unhappy with their job? Okay.
Do you know of anybody who you know currently unhappy with their job?
Unhappy with job. If you ask for, do you know of anyone who is interested to join insurance or financial planning or unit trust, would it be wide or narrow? Narrow, right?
Narrow, yes.
Yeah. But people who are unhappy with their job,
A lot.
a lot wider,
yeah.
yes or no? Then to position yourself, you can also say something like this. Say, John, as long as you have friends who are unhappy where they are, they're seeking for success, they are honest, they're hardworking, I'll be happy to meet them up to give them some pointers. Now, I'm not assuming they are interested to join my industry, neither am I promising them a place in my organization. So that way you position yourself that I'm not desperate. I'm looking for a good candidate, but I'm not desperate. That one is very important.
Again, brand equity and positioning.
Positioning, yeah. If you know my style, it's always about positioning, right? How you position yourself determines how people treat you, how people respond and react to you. Yeah. So once you have that in mind, then you ask the person for a referral, just like how you will ask for a referral in getting sales, right? And what's the worst case scenario? Well, I can't think of anyone right now, Bryce. But you seem to do very well. You seem very happy. So you plant a seed that you're happy, successful, right? You're making money, you're happy. So with that, right, what's the worst case scenario? He can't think of anyone, but one day all he needs is he's unhappy with his job.
You think of me?
He might think of you. Your clientele is your biggest asset. That's something a lot of managers overlook. Your clientele is your best asset, because if they can trust you with few $1,000s a year, 10,000, 20,000 a year, or 100,000 lump sum investment, they can trust you with their future. Shouldn't they join you if they were to consider this career? Right? But you need to let them know you are actually looking to groom and mentor people, not recruiting others for overriding. You genuinely want to help others to also accelerate their path to become financially free by earning a better income, by having more time freedom, by having more quality of time with your family, which is what you are dedicated to your own family as well.
Yep.
Right? So making sense so far?
Yes.
Yeah, so your ability to communicate your passion pitch for recruitment in the referral asking also helps. So once you are able to do that in your own process, train your advisors. You currently have a team?
Yep.
How many people do you have currently?
5.
5 of them. So make sure they are good in referrals. If you can train them on referrals, train them on your own. If you think that I can train them better, you can send them to my referral workshop. They are very affordable, and I can train them for you. They go back to you. You drill them into the habits and mastery, because I can't do that for you.
Yep.
You got to do that. And once they're good in getting referrals for themselves, then you lead them to help the organization in growing the team. So whatever I mentioned to you earlier, you can also teach them the same script, all right? And they too can say the same thing to their prospect. Hey, Mr. Wong, can you see that I'm very happy? Yeah. You know why? Same thing. And this year, my mentor, Bryce, is also looking to mentor another 5% to help them, unlock their potential to earn 6 figures within 3 years or less. Currently, do you know of any friends around you who are unhappy, or maybe your nephew or niece who just came back or graduated along that line? So this costs you nothing.
True. The main whole purpose is to let them know that I'm actually looking to mentor another 5 people.
Yes. And it all start from there. It's free of charge. There's no cost, and you plant the right seed. Right. At the same time, what's the worst case scenario? You wait for the person to do it for you. But of course, there are also other strategies by giving some of by having a lead magnet, by having a landing page for recruitment, drive them to your site, do some kind of career quiz, your entrepreneur readiness kind of quiz, right? Will get them curious. And that also can be another form of lead generation. So you all have offline feeding online, and online leading to offline, meet you face to face. O to O, like for that. Yeah. The one we can talk more another day. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So to me, right, the number one is referral. So I was very clear. So I realized that maybe in terms of referral, we are about 5 upon 10. So what we did was we look at ways to optimize it, to give a book to give away to enhance the number of referrals, rather than trying to do something that we're not good at. Example, like I was very poor in campus recruitment. That doesn't mean it doesn't work. It's just that I wasn't good at it. So rather than spending money on exploring new ways, I focus on optimizing ways that I'm already capable of, that I'm really good at. Make sense?
Makes sense.
From there, then I would say emphasize, invest 80% of your time in what you're good at, and spend 10-20% of your time to explore new ways, because you never know. That way you can still be focused, at the same time you are not narrowly tied down to always. I hope that makes sense to you.
It does, Chris. It does a lot. I have one. Do you have time for a second question?
Yeah, I'm more than happy, yes.
Yeah. One, again, being a new manager, sometimes I'm afraid of being too much tough love. Too much dominating style, because that's the style that
Are you
I
dominating? I can't tell. Other than your muscle that looks dominating, but I'm not sure about you. You seem like a very nice, caring, nurturing person, a manager. Yeah. I was still I was a little bit concerned, right, that Bryce might be too nurturing, too kind.
It works the other way actually, Chris. When it comes to succeeding in this job, people who come under me, I want them to really taste that six-figure income in 3 years or less. They should be able to.
Well, you're supposed to. Yeah.
But some of them come in here with wrong expectations that they are going in here for work-life balance immediately, or they're here to imagine that it's going to be a walk in the park. Everybody they talk to, they don't get rejections. I want to drown in them that it's not true. You still need to put in the traditional hard work.
Life.
Hello, good morning, hi. This is Chris here again. It's Ask Chris Anything on Tuesday, and this segment is specially dedicated to practitioners in the financial planning industry, whether you are in a unit trust or you're in insurance or estate planning, financial planning. Yeah, this will be appropriate for you. So this week I got quite a lot of questions. Look, these are the post-it notes with all the questions. Things like what do you do to reduce aeroplane rate for appointment? Aeroplane. I think it's derived from the Hokkien word called pang pui ki. People postpone and cancel upon you. It's quite a lot of questions. Really, it's a lot to. I don't think I can answer all of them, but I'll pick as much as I can. Yeah, so many. Anyway, we'll just we just take a while, let the rest join us. I want to see who is joining us so far. Perhaps I can log in through my phone to see.
I will show you.
Okay. For those of you who are here for the first time, hi, Chris here. More than 20 years in the business. I retired in end of 2016, to focus on coaching, speaking, and the providing result focused, ROI-driven solutions to insurance companies, agency leaders, top producers, etc., right? So yeah, and my passion is to really help as many people in the industry as possible to really transform stagnating, struggling advisors to become highly respected, highly profitable, highly professional advisors. Hi Danny, good to see you. Good morning. So Danny, if you have a question for me, I will give the priority to you. All right, before I answer all the rest of the questions. Yes, I give priority to those who come on live. Yeah. Danny, where are you now? Are you in Singapore or are you in Malaysia? Danny from Malaysia, right? I find your name so familiar, but I suddenly couldn't ring a bell. So sorry. Let me see. Let's wait for the rest to come in. Okay. Anyway. Great. So I will answer the first question. How to reduce postponement rate and cancellation rate? Now, in general, there are only three reasons. The only three reasons why people postpone and cancel on you. Three key reasons. Number one, they cancel on you because, number one, they don't know who you are exactly. Wow. Even if you call them as a based on a referral, right? Yeah, sure, they know their friends, but they do not know you. So when you happen to fix an appointment with them and they agree to an appointment, now you got to ask yourself, put yourself in the shoes of the other party, right? Now somebody fixed an appointment with you. You have no idea who he is. It's just that he's been referred to you by one of your friend, right? So now, they don't know exactly what kind of values you can create. They have no idea about your beliefs, your values, your principle. They don't know your accomplishment. They do not know how qualified you are in what you do. Right? You're just a name. You're just a voice over the phone. Right? Referred by a friend. Right? If the quality of the relationship is very high between the candidate, the prospect as well as the referral, then the meetup ratio will be a lot higher, right? So the first thing first is that they don't know you, okay? You did not fulfill their logical needs. Second thing, no emotional connection, right? They did not connect with you emotionally, right? If I do not know you as a person, it's a lot easier, for me to cancel and postpone on a stranger than someone I like or someone I know, right? So which is why the cancellation rate can be as high as 30%, even if it's for referrals. And for people who are considered cold, the cancellation rate can be as high as 50%. The next thing is the third part is no urgency. So first one is no understanding. Second one is no emotional connection. And number three, there's no urgency. Now I want you to put yourself in this scenario. Imagine now you're a consumer, you're walking past a hospital, right? Be it Mount Elizabeth in Malaysia or Singapore or whichever country you are in. Now, would you out of the blue walk into the hospital and say, hey, you know what? I feel like doing a medical checkup today. Would you ever do that? Even if it's on a slight discount, 10-20% discount, would you do that? Answer is no, right? There are two key reasons why people do a medical checkup. Number one, either they know they have a health problem, right? Or number two, they suspect they have a health problem. You see that? So if you will reverse that and put that into perspective in our industry, now, first of all, as a consumer, do you think they feel there's anything wrong with their finances? Well, things are not perfect, sure. There might be some shortfall here and there, but I don't feel there's any urgency to do anything, what? Right? People don't take action unless they feel enough pain with the problem, right? So, and you are approaching them as a financial consultant or a unit trust consultant or an insurance advisor, am I right? So in the eyes of the consumer, they know you're going to talk to them in hope to sell something, in hope to do some transaction with them, right? So you're looking to sell, he's not looking to buy, and he doesn't feel there's any issue with his finances, then he meets you for financial planning for what? Right? Absolutely no urgency, of course. Right? If this person happened to be free, take a look, no harm, sure. But there's not enough strong reason for people to meet you. Which is why to solve this problem, I have two key strategies. Number one, the choice of script. Right? For those of you who are a graduate of a Millionaire Advisor program or in the past Referral Revolution Intensive, you will realize that the script that I taught you in the referral calling has a lot of elements in place. There are basically 10 prospecting, phone prospecting techniques which I taught you, right? Number one, never sound like a telemarketer, never sound like a salesperson. You should sound like a casual call. Number two, you do not want to just mention the company name too early, because when you mention a company name too early, it will appear as a sales call more than a personal call, right? So the third part is that you want to bring down the defense as fast as possible. The most important objection to avoid is called I'm not interested, it's okay. Okay, the other three very common objections will be like, you know what, I'm not looking at anything now, I've got my own advisor, I'm happy with him or her, right? And the very minor ones will be things like, I'm busy now, I've got no money, things like that. So these are very common in terms of the objection faced by financial consultants. So you need to have a script that diffuse and deflect and in fact remove all these objections right at the beginning. All right, and in fact your script has to include the techniques to increase IDU, right? How to create the interest, create the desire and urgency to take action. Well, I got limited time on air, but as a Millionaire Advisor program graduate, I encourage you to go back to your script, go to Module 2, Prospecting, Professional Prospecting Mastery, right? You go to page 2 or page 3, all right, or no, page 2 or page 4, depending on whether it's the newer version or the older version, you get all your answers there. Is that all right? Yeah, as I said, I dedicate this video to empower our graduates, past graduates primarily, and their friends, so that they get to develop mastery in the things I teach. Now, it may be a 2 to 3 day, full day master class, right? But mastery takes, at least basic mastery takes another 30 days of role play, you know. Lifetime mastery, you know, takes forever. All right, it's about the continual application, continual reflection, continual evaluation, continual alteration to what you do, you know, amendments, so that you can eventually, you know, develop the true mastery based on deep understanding, based on subconscious competency. It takes time. All right, which is why I hope to use my Tuesday session to empower you. All right, so question is, how do you, a lot of people tend to want short-term answers, all right, to a problem. But I prefer to provide more detailed approach to help people, you know, to solve real issues permanently, right? So understand this. Using the right script matters a lot. All right. For those of you who have not attended my class, at least you have bought my book. Again, I've got scripts in there on how you can prospect referrals a lot more effectively, prospect your friends a lot more effectively. Okay. So that's the first part, is the script. All right. For graduates, you will know that the technique I use to create interest and desire will be the really, that approach, right? And you are the one who conclude that it makes sense to meet up. All right, technique number 6. All right, so go back and revise on your notes. I think it will help you. For the second part is that okay, apart from the script, all right, chances are they will agree to meet you, but they can still change their mind. All right, so you got to use a professional profile, which is why I designed a Sing profile, part of our feature in the Sing Biz, created by Syncastra. Now, it's a professional profile. I wish I've got a chance to show you. Perhaps I can send a sample in this link, all right, which you can click to take a look, right? And if you look, example, right, at this link, you realize that it's important to make sure that your professional profile is designed to sell, it's not just designed to tell. Right, designed to sell, not just designed to tell. You can have a profile done using, say, Canva. You use a PowerPoint, you know, etc. Publisher. You can come up with a static A4 size professional profile. But these profiles are static. It doesn't interact very much. It can fit you mentally, but you and I know people respond more to videos, you know, big fonts than just small fonts filled with information, right? So it's important to take note of that, right? I'll just send a sample of a link of a friend. I think he's doing very, very well, Terrence, and I like his profile a lot. I'll share it right inside the group right now. Let me see if I can do it. Give me a moment, please. Okay, copy it. And what I need to do is to add it to a comment. Wow, I see so many thumbs up. Wow, that's very encouraging. Okay, if you look in the link right now, I would have shared a profile of a friend, one of our graduate, a highly successful leader and a top producer for more than 10 years, you know, number 1 in his company in the area of AUM sales. Right now, so in your professional profile, ideally, all right, at the top, if you were to write about yourself, remember, people don't buy what you do, they buy why you do it, as quoted by Simon Sinek, a very well respected thought leader. People don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. So what you want to include in your professional profile is to communicate your passion for the business, your mission in what you do, you know, your vision of what you want to see in people's life, In my case, the vision of how this industry should be like in the next 3-5 years, or 5 to 10 years, right? People buy you based on your vision, mission, and your passion, all right? And based on the beliefs, values, and principles. People connect with you based on your beliefs, values, and principles. So I think in terms of writing, rather than focusing on your achievement and all the services you can provide, which is important, but more importantly, you're going to communicate your vision, mission with passion. Okay, so that's the part, the top to about you, above the fold, right? In terms of the screen, or in terms of the website, above the fold means what you see in your right at the beginning, right? And very close to that, I encourage you to put in a video. Those of you who have been exposed to my work, I have this a proprietary tool called Passion Pitch, right? A Passion Pitch is designed to connect with you, people emotionally to you, including even strangers, right, who have not met you. Now, in your Passion Pitch, right, video, right, it shouldn't be more than 2 minutes, and it should allow you to lead others to like you, trust you, get to feel connected with you. So remember, right, a picture paints 1,000 words, but a video consists of thousands of pictures. Right? Today, it's all about people consume information much more via video than just photo or text. Okay, so think of that. The first portion is the write-up. All right, second portion is your Passion Pitch video. Now, to me, having a video is almost like having a mini-me, and a split version of you, that you can enslave and you can abuse to work 24/7 for you for free online, right? Literally. And this guy doesn't complain. This guy doesn't work based on mood. Financial advisors work based on mood, right? But this mini-me version of you will be working hard for you online. Imagine the script that I gave, right? So imagine the video will look like this. Shwing, hi. My name is Larry Ho, my name is Danny Ong. If you're watching this video, there's a high chance you either found me online or you've been referred to me by one of your friends. Over the years, I got great joy helping many families in Singapore and Malaysia, especially those with children, to give the best education possible to their children, at the same time, not compromising on their desired lifestyle during their retirement. What I envision is to help them create, right, consistent stream of passive income, in their golden years, regardless of market condition, and so that they can retire ideally 5-10 years earlier, right? So this is the start of the Passion Pitch, and of course with the rest of the element which you would be able to find in our support session for our Syncastra users. Now, for those of you who are looking to create this profile, I got a good news for you. What I'll do is that my colleague will be keying in a link where you can register yourself, to come for a support session in Singapore or Malaysia, where you can design this professional profile from scratch. Right, in 3 hours to 3.5 hours, from nothing, you can have a good-looking profile that's pretty similar to what Terence already had. Of course, what Terence did was, he continually added more stuff as he moved along. It is an app that I designed, is especially for the financial planning industry. You can call it a cross between a LinkedIn page and a bit of a landing page, a bit of a professional profile, all in one, specially designed, for financial planners. Okay, and be my guest. Register yourself so that you can also get supported in this area. All right, because these days, people need to feel you first before they decide if they want to meet you. You need to give value first online before people are willing to meet you offline. Gone are the days where you provide service after you sell. These days, you need to provide service before you sell. All right, and if you can establish that, trust me, your meetup ratio, your referral numbers are going to shoot up the roof. Your closing ratio is going to shoot up the roof, right? So let me cover one more thing, right? At the bottom, right? How do you create urgency? All right. So how do you create urgency? What you can do is you can Again, use the passion pitch, which I taught before. All right. Highlight to people that they possibly have an issue with their finances. See, people do not take action unless they feel enough pain with their problem. So, ability to show them that there are areas to improve, show them there are certain pitfalls they could be in, over the phone call can help increase the urgency to meet up. All right, as I said, there's no shortcut, but I can accelerate and shorten your learning curve, by having this professional profile done. And the good news for you is, those of you who are not on this already, not only would you get this profile done, my colleague will be giving you actual strategies and scripts that are designed by me on how you can use this tool to get lots of referrals, to open up lots of cases with your existing client, with your friends that you have never dared to approach. All right, so you do not want to miss this session. This session is called Build Your Prospecting Engine. Build Your Prospecting Engine, right? BYTE in short. Okay, you can register yourself, or if you need to, PM me so that my colleague can attend to you. All right, so I'm done with this first question on how to reduce postponement rate, right? Next thing, right? Got another question. Anyone posting any question there? I see Jess, Serene, hi. I see Larry. Larry, any question for me? Fitra, if you're still there, long time no see. Yeah. Any question you have, you can post to me right now. As I said, I've dedicated this time to you. Any question? If not, then I'll just connection time now. If not, what I'll do is that I'll continue with the next question, yeah? One of the question is, hey, by asking them a question, can you talk now? Is it convenient to talk for a moment? Would it increase the chance of them saying no? If you make a phone call, right? Imagine if I give you a phone call, it sounds like this. Hey, is that John? Hey, John, this is Chris Chan. Actually, we haven't met. I'm calling you because of your colleague Larry. Is it good for talk for a moment? Right? Is it good to talk for a moment? Can you talk for a moment now? To me, this is quite basic courtesy, right? We do not want to assume people are free to talk. We do not want to intrude into people's life, because to me, a phone call these days is a disturbance. It is, right? If I call you during your work, I'm disrupting your work. If I'm calling you after working hour, I'm disrupting your personal time or your family time. All right? Even if you're sitting on that toilet bowl, you probably want to enjoy your game or watch your YouTube, am I right? Or scan through your Facebook or Instagram, right? So any phone call today is a disturbance, which is why it's important to make sure that they have time to meet up, to talk. If not, I would rather just say, you know what, if you're busy now, let's talk at a better time. I rather call them at a better time than risk rushing through my script and the person is not in a mental, emotional, physical state to respond to my script. Okay, I hope I understand that. How do you condition yourself, your advisors, to do the style that's not theirs? Wow. Okay. I know where is the context of this question. So, I think this question is for leaders lah. I will likely answer it at 10 a.m. later, so I will leave it for that moment. Now, I got another question, Chris. You are the authority in referrals. So, what if the client does not want us to mention their name in the referral? Okay, I do get that quite a bit. From that question, I can easily tell that this person hasn't had much success in referrals. High chance this person did not either did not create enough value or create enough differentiation for the client to see the difference, to be willing to mention the name. To me, if you cannot mention a name, you cannot mention a referrer, a reference, right? To me, it's not a real referral. Okay, it's as good as a cold call. Okay. So my encouragement to you is get your foundation right. You won't even have this problem if you follow the techniques in my referral program. You follow the scripts I've given you, the client feedback form, watch my online video, watch how I ask for referral, how I use the checklist to guide you step by step. If not, you can always come to my some of my monthly workshops, right? There's either at a very, very low cost. In fact, sometimes they're even complimentary. So seize the opportunity and come and learn how to build your six-figure income, within 1 to 3 years, how you can actually do so by adding lots of value for your client, to deliver high value with high touch using high tech, right? So, yeah. So that's the thing. Now, if I really want to deal with this question, I will say that I will use a script that goes like this. Say, hi, is that John? Hey, John, this is Chris Chan. Actually, we haven't met. You've been recommended to me by a friend of yours. Can you talk now for a moment? Yeah. Okay, this is somewhat interesting because this friend of yours, as much as he's pretty close to you, he actually prefers not to mention his name. Not that he doesn't see the benefit of my work, but rather, he doesn't want to risk affecting his relationship with you. All right. But anyway, what happened is this: this person was in my office the other day, and he actually went through some discussion on his finances with me, and he was very impressed with what I do. Blah, blah, blah. So you can still follow the script which I taught in my professional prospecting module. It is just that you just have to tweak it at the front. Okay, at the back, what you can do, you can add something like this. Okay, now John it seems weird. I also feel that it's weird. But again, if you're open-minded, let's have a chat. Take a look at the work I do. If you really see value in my work and you want to thank this person, I'm more than happy to reveal this person's name to you when we meet up. Okay? Yeah. I would use that. But anyway, I don't think it's necessary if you do what's right. There's a difference between doing the right thing versus making things right. So I prefer to do the right thing. I prefer to take the preemptive approach, the preventive approach to things rather than the corrective measure to any situation. Okay. You know what? My time is up today. So for those of you who are watching now, or who you'll be watching later, remember to remember to give me your encouragement and share this post with your friends so that they too can benefit from the value we create. All right? So look forward to see you next Tuesday and have a wonderful day ahead. Bye.
As a new manager, how do I generate recruitment leads now as I'm building my team?
Hello, welcome to Ask Me Anything. Chris Chan here, your business growth strategist. And today we have one of our past graduate, Bryce Chan. Hey Bryce.
Hello, hi.
Good to see you again.
Thank you.
Yeah, and Bryce has done very well in his sales. After MEP, he actually became an MDRT qualifier. And moving forward, he's also looking at maintaining his production as an MDRT qualifier. At the same time, he's also embarked on starting a team. Am I right? So what are some of the challenges, Bryce, you face? Feel free to ask me any question. I'll be happy to assist you to my best ability. Yeah.
Thanks, Chris, for sacrificing your time on a busy afternoon just to answer these questions that I have.
No issue at all.
As a new manager, I always find there's something that I have to learn. Right? Maybe restart or relearn good habits and delete the bad habits away.
Okay.
My first question is really more so towards, as a new manager, how do I generate recruitment leads now as I'm building my team?
Okay. So to answer that question, it's always about context, right? So the reason why I do this is that by helping Bryce answer his question, this segment can also be useful to some of you out there who could be facing the same problem, right?
Yeah.
So in recruitment, generating leads is always the first step. All right, no leads equal to no new possibilities. Okay, so first thing first, I'm going to ask you this question, right? Have you solved your own lead generation in terms of your sales? So are you able to get consistent stream of leads to help you do your MDRT? The answer is yes, right? So that part, no issue at all.
Yeah.
Okay. So the next thing is, how do you get leads? There are many sources of leads, right? From placing ads in the job portal to digital marketing leads these days, right? To getting referrals, with one of my favorite, to joining those campus recruitment, etc., etc. Recruit bankers, etc. Now, so the first exercise I'd like you to think through is have a list of all the different source of leads. In fact, why not this way? Why not I send you a list, a part of my coaching material.
Wow,
I send you a list. So what you want to do is give yourself a rating. Yeah. For those of you, if you want that list as well, why don't you put a comment below? You request the list, and I'll be happy to send it to you as well. Okay. So sounds good, right? So
Thanks,
once you have
Chris.
the list, no worries. So what we're going to do is ask yourself.
You're live again.
All right, I'm live again. Hi, welcome to our Tuesday Ask Chris Anything leadership series. So this session is especially dedicated to any sales leader, team directors out there who is managing sales team, particularly in the financial planning, insurance and unit trust industry. Of course, if you are an SME owner and you have choose to dial in, some of the principles, some of the techniques and scripts are relevant to your business as well. Particularly in recruitment, right? So today I want to cover one thing. Yesterday I just did a small group coaching with a group of close to 25 agency leaders. And I see many of them has a great passion to want to groom more people to success. They have done pretty well in their life, and they really want to grow their team. But often than not, they struggle, right, with recruiting the wrong people, or after recruiting them, the people are not motivated, not productive. Sometimes even give them bad attitude. Some of them even spread rumors at the back, talk back behind the leaders, and these are not uncommon, right? So let me put it that way, okay? To set the context right, now, you and I agree on one thing, right? The quality of the talent in a company determines the capability of that company, which determines the future of that company. So talent attraction and talent retention is key to the success of any organization. So now, in this segment, I want to highlight one thing, right? That if you want to do recruitment, I want to be clear with you. Recruitment is not a sales process. It is actually a selection process. Now, in theory, many people out there have heard this before, right? But the bottom line is this: do they know how to implement this whole strategy? Let me first of all put it that way. We're going to deal with this in two areas: mindset, skill set. Mindset and skill set. So let me start with mindset first. Now, I've seen real life. I've been around different part of Asia. I've mentored live member, even a TOT producer, and leaders who have been doing multiple millions in terms of group production, right? Yet I realized many of them make one common mistake, right? They do recruitment according to how they do sales, right? As a salesperson, your goal is to impress the client, connect with the client, make the client like you, and of course eventually do business with you, right? So using that the frame of mind, they approach their candidate with the same philosophy. They sell the career to the candidate, convince and persuade the candidate to join the business, right? And often regardless, whether the candidate is suitable or ready or not, their selection criteria is based on feels right, feels good, I like you. That's it, right? And then based on whatever the candidate say, the candidate often tell you things like, you know what, I will be hardworking, I'm focused, I'm a go-getter, I will make it, thanks for believing in me, let me join you. How many times as a leader you feel conned or cheated? You're emotionally cheated by such candidate, right? Now, the problem with most interview process is this. On one side, you put on your best makeup, put on your best dressing to try to seduce and impress the person to join you. The other guy also, not only does he put makeup, he even go for plastic surgery, to present the best version of him to you. So, end of the day, right, both of you are trying to convince each other and impress each other. Totally no selection in the process. So to me, a candidate should be very selective, with the company he joins. As a candidate, he or she has a responsibility to understand the industry, whether the industry is for him, whether self-employment is for him, and whether the agency leadership style is for him, whether the environment is suitable for him, whether the culture is suitable for him, right? Whether the support structure, the coaching training, the system, right? The marketing support system, is it enough and necessary? Is it enough to lead this candidate to where he is now, to where he wants to be? These are the selection criteria a candidate should think through. And for a leader, same thing. You have to have your criteria too, right? The most basic thing is, do you like him? Do you trust him? Second one, can you manage him? Can you lead him? Fourth one is, can he fit in your culture? These are very basic criteria. Okay, then you have to look at the, I know many people go through this DISC, some of them use Myers-Briggs, MBTI, etc. Now, my friend, a person's personality has very little to do with his success. Often than not, his attitude, his ability to focus, his tenacity, his drive, his spirit of excellence, his grit, all these are in fact much more important than personality profile. Because you and I know, you can look at all the advisors. You got advisors who are D, I, S, or C in their personality. They can still be top producers. You have top producers, leaders who are high D. They also have top producers who are high S, high C, So personality has very little to do with a person's success. So to me, many of the assessments done by a lot of agency leaders are flawed, incomplete rather, right? So I would rather, ask very good interview questions, which I cover, which I give the entire list of the questions to our SWOT or 2XT leaders during our mentorship, right? SWOT is Strategic Agency Leader Training, which some of you have gone through. I think Glenn obviously have gone through. You graduated from 2015, I think, 2015 SWOT program, I believe, right? Hi Winston and hi James, right? The rest of you who have not gone through my leadership mentoring, just to give an overview, right? In an interview, right, it's not just about selling the career. It's always about sizing the candidate up by asking a series of very, very good questions to test his grit, his drive. You cannot ask questions like, hey, are you someone with drive? What do you expect him to say? Right? Of course, I'm a very driven person. People will tell you the answers you want to hear in an interview. So your interview has your questions are asked in such a way, right, that they puts him at ease, put him in a very natural state for him to state examples. Right? Example, if they say you have a drive, it seems like a person with drive. Can you tell me a scenario that in school or at work, they have proven that supports your traits, right? Supports you in this strength of yours. So you want to ask indirect questions like this for them to quote examples. All right, and as they quote the example, you can look at their eyes, whether they're making things up, or they're telling the truth, right? So things like that. Now, so let's come back to the mindset first. Okay, I want to settle the mindset first. Number one, if you are doing recruitment right now, I want to be upfront with you. Who needs who more? Who needs who more? Right? Good morning, Richmond. right? I didn't know, Richmond, you are into management. Are you into management now? Right, yes. Right, nevertheless, I think this segment is specially designed for agency leaders, right? Now, so let me get it straight. A lot of times, the way leaders position themselves, they are like a salesperson trying to recruit people into the business. Now, let me be upfront. How positioning is key in everything. Now, if you position yourself wrongly as a leader, pardon my language, you are screwed, okay? Now, be upfront, right? Between you and the candidate, who has made more money as a self-employed? Even if the candidate used to be a senior manager in the corporate world making 10, 15,000 a month, ask yourself a question. Between him and you, who has made more money as a self-employed? The answer is you, right? The answer is you. And you have been through this business, you have the know-how in the business, right? Not only have you made good money in the business, you have also groomed others to do the same. So it sickens me to see, advisors leaders who are making like 15, 20, 30,000 a month, pleading a candidate, a fresh grad that's barely making 3,000, 4,000 a month, to join him. The candidate should be convincing the leader why the leader should accept him in his discipleship. You see where I'm coming from? I think it's important, right, to be clear. You are not a recruiting manager. You are a success mentor to every candidate you recruit. Get that straight. All right, and for that reason, that person needs you to teach him how to make his six figure in this business more than you need him for your little old riding over him. Okay, so get that mindset straight first. Is it okay? And let me also put it up front. Between you and the candidate, who earns more per hour? Now, as a leader, let me be upfront with you. Do you know how much you are worth per hour? If you were to do sales, right? You can easily acquire a client, a brand new client, from first appointment to case preparation to second appointment to closing to follow through. You easily spend less than 10 hours. Now, assume you use 10 hours to acquire a client. If your average case size is 5,000, guess what? You divide 5,000 revenue over your 10 hours, your per hour rate is at least $500 per hour. Way, way more than the candidate. And let me ask you another question. For you to groom a candidate from scratch all the way to becoming relatively productive, how many hours of your time must you dedicate to groom this person? Have you calculated? Have you asked yourself a question? How many of his seniors' time, that this baby in the agency will take up? All right, collectively, take my word for it, it's not less than 50 hours. Easily 50 to 100 hours of the agency's time is being dedicated to a new candidate. And every candidate is a liability first before he or she becomes an asset. Right? Make sense? Yeah, so stand tall, man. Take some pride when you do recruitment. All right? And be daring to even make statements like this. Do you know when you are selected, right? Our firm is allocating easily, $30,000 worth of mentoring, marketing material, support system, training, coaching, personal coaching, performance coaching, case study, joint field work, etc. We are investing $25,000 to $50,000 worth of time and worth of material to support you, which is why we choose to be selective, not because we are arrogant. Okay, so a script like this can be along the line. You know what, John, I want you to be very clear. We are very selective in the candidate we choose. You probably met with other managers who can't wait to recruit you, who are desperate to recruit you, and they'll say anything that you want to hear to recruit you. All right? To me, we are different. We choose to be highly selective. Why? Right, because we choose to be responsible. Because we choose to be responsible. Because every person that we bring in, we know this person, all right, we will be collectively as an agency, with me, with my team of leaders, with my team of senior advisors, we'll be allocating at least 50 to 100 hours of our time guiding you, mentoring you from scratch. And not to mention the marketing support, the case study, the joint field work, etc., etc., etc. Right? So as a leader, I need to be responsible to the resources in our firm. Fair enough. And as a result, I need to choose the right person that fit into the culture, someone that they like to support. Right? On the other hand, I also need to be responsible to you. Right? Because when you join the business, you are entrusting your entire career, your income earning ability to us. And behind that trust are the aspiration, the hopes that your family have on you, and their support behind you for you to carve a career, to carve a success in this business. And if you fail, not only you disappoint my team members and I, you disappoint yourself and you disappoint the loved ones who are there to support you. How can we fail? Right? So failing is not an option, which is why we choose to be very selective. All right? Because while this career is extremely financially rewarding and emotionally fulfilling, not everyone is suitable to be in this business. And sometimes people are suitable, all right, but they are not ready. They're not ready mentally, they're not ready emotionally, they're not ready financially. Which is why I need to walk you through this process to better understand what do you want, to understand what are your strengths and what the strengths and weaknesses are, so that I can see how I can help you, to grow not just in your strength but also overcome your weakness. All right, and my friend, okay, so you can use something along this line to show to the candidate that you are serious. So this is called being firm but not hard. This is being assertive but not being aggressive. By using what? By giving logical, emotional reasoning. Okay? Yeah. Got my point, everyone? Yeah. So I hope you caught all those scripts. I think this can be very practical. They can use immediately. Right? So take note of that, right? Recruitment is a selection process, it's not a sales process. So let me give another scenario. So what kind of people do you want to bring in? Now that is highly dependent on your vision in the business. How do your vision and your identity? Who you see yourself? Do you see yourself as a winner? Do you see yourself as one of the best in the industry? Do you see yourself as the shining example in agency management? Do you see your agency as a top-notch, client-centric, highly productive advisory group with excellence, right? So I'm giving a mouthful of words here, right? So again, you define your advisor, you define your team, you define your vision. So when I first joined the business, many people around me, they were merely recruiting others just to earn their overriding, just to grow their team, sometimes just to grow their ego and their pocket, to line their pocket. All right, to me, this approach to recruitment is very shallow. Now, I was mentioning to the group yesterday that I mentor. Now, we need to learn to love people and use things, and not use people and love things. All right, when you love things more than loving people, guess what? People will not trust you. I think that is very, very important. Okay, so now that's the guiding principle, right, for sustainable success. I've seen so many agency leaders who used to be the top 3 in their companies, drive Ferraris, huge ego, often use the word limpe, limpe means your father lah. Okay, so super huge ego, right? Guess what? Many of them has fallen. Many of them has fallen. I've seen many of them, they have made their money because they have good people to do well. And instead of spending their money on the people, they spend money on their own personal pleasure. And they distance themselves from the people whom they have been growing the business with. I think that's very sad, right? That's very, very sad. Okay, as an advisor, always give back to your clients. It is through your client that you earn your fortune. All right, so invest back in your clients. As an advisor, as a leader, invest back in your advisors. I think that's very, very important. Don't forget who are the ones that help you grow your wealth together. Okay, so now, I want to come back to this, right? Now, when I first joined the business, I was very much influenced by, I didn't like what I was doing, and I know to me insurance back then was just about, okay, take a product out there, use some concept to try to convince people to buy from you, ask them for the support, try to be nice, build rapport. Sorry, I didn't like what I was doing. You know, I in fact was thinking of quitting, until I discovered what true financial planning means, and I got inspired. I got highly attracted to what has been happening in UK, US, Australia, where financial planning is actually a true blue profession, not just a sales job. So I envisioned, right, after looking at some of the best model, one of the company that inspired me was this firm called Edward Jones. Edward Jones is, if I'm not wrong, one of the top 500 MNC in US. They currently have more than 44,000 advisors, and they have 11,000 offices, branch offices across North America, you know, all the way to Canada, right? So I watched their video in 2012, and I showed that to my team. I said, look, this is where financial planning will be. This is where we will lead the whole team to become, right? Our clients, you know, should respect us as professionals. Our clients should come to our office to meet us, and that has been my vision. You know, my vision was to make sure that we grow to 100 people, or at least do 10 million worth of revenue. You know, so that was the thing that I set for myself, right? We want clients to be acquired based on purely referrals, rather than all the cold methods. And guess what? Thoughts become things. And all this vision I set in 2006 when I started the firm, Wealth Affinity Group. That was the vision, right? And today I'm so proud of them. You know, I've retired 3 years ago, and I've got very capable leaders who have took over, and they have their next generation of leaders. They are doing well. Most of the leaders are MDRT qualifiers. In fact, there was a time where all leaders were MDRT qualifiers. Many of them have bought their first, second, third properties. They're driving nice car. They bring a family for holiday. They are filial to their parents. You know, they are closer to their siblings, and they got clients who adore them. They are family friends to many of their clients, and wow, you know, how do you put a dollar sign to this? You know, the kind of fulfillment that we get. You know, you can't imagine how proud I am. You know, that this business, the agency, have transformed so many lives, and the lives they touch and the lives around them. You know, I always say that when one person in the family is elevated, the entire family is elevated. And it's true. We have an instance where when a sister joined, the other sister will also join the business. You know, the family members get attracted to the business. And I won't be surprised one day their children will want to take over them in their business as well. All right? Yeah. So my friends, running an agency is amazing, provided you have the right vision, and with the right vision, you choose the right candidate. Okay? So now, if you were to build a national team, say a national basketball team, would you bring any Tom, Dick, and Harry to join your basketball team or your football team? Absolutely not, right? You only choose the best, right, to join your squad. If you want the best team, you must get the best candidate. Simple as that, right? And the next thing is this: when they join you, would you allow them to, you know, based on their mood, you know, to come for training and not come for training, you know, to skip this lesson, to skip that meeting? Would you allow that? Again, you won't, right? Because you have standards, right? So if you are happy with a 6:30 agency, then sure, go ahead and recruit any Tom, Dick, and Harry, all right? And let me tell you that these are the people that give you the most problem. People with bad attitude, people who are not productive, gives the most problem, all right? So of course, some people will tell me, Chris, yeah, your time and my time is different now. Nowadays, all the Gen Y, not the millennials, all the Zenials now, all the 90年后, all those who are born after 1990, you know, they are not like the Gen X, you know, they are different from the baby boomers, you know, they seem to care less, blah, blah, blah. Look, there are good candidates and bad candidates in every generation. You'll find junks in the baby boomers, in Gen X, all right? You can also find gems in the Gen Y and millennials. Come on. If you recruit based on convenience rather than based on solid lead generation, solid selection, then sorry, you won't have a lot of candidates to choose from. Right? So if you want to learn how to generate your referrals, all right, your candidate through referrals, because 90% of the agency was recruited based on referrals, right? If you want to know how to generate leads for candidate, I urge you to come for one of my upcoming, I only have I think one or two more group coaching that's specially dedicated to agency leaders. They'll be held soon. Again, my colleague will post the detail in this comment. Just simply register your interest with them. I'm not just going to do 2 more sessions this year, and I'm off for the year. I'm booked solid all the way till 14th of December, right? Hardly any room to breathe, but I love my work, what to do. In fact, last week you saw me in my bathrobe. That's quite embarrassing. I was sick. I have not fully recovered. You can hear from my voice. But guess what? I'm dedicated to my work. I love what I do. I love the people that I work with. And for that alone, I'm committed. Right? If you're committed to your success, I'm committed to help you in your success. Okay? So register your interest to come for our leadership session, where I will be giving you tips on scripts on how you can get your first 3 candidates, right? Without any cost. Okay, that's a secret. Okay, come over to this session. Okay, after this, right? Look forward to see you. So now let me continue. Right? You want the best candidate, right? Unfortunately, you can't select when you can't attract. You see, in Singapore, particularly in Singapore, all right, many a times the geniuses, right, or those with a high Mensa score. In Singapore, in the 9-year-old, primary 3, all right, we will be given this Mensa test to see whether we are a genius or not. I believe I missed that by a few points. So once you are in the Mensa gifted program, often than not, you are earmarked by the government, in case you don't know, right? And they'll watch how you perform in your academic success. Chances are, when you graduate with first class honors, you have some kind of sponsorship, scholarship, right? You'll be earmarked, all right, as potential candidate. They will watch how you perform in the corporate world, probably in the next 10 years, all right? Being good in your studies doesn't mean you can perform in the corporate world, right? So once they see that you climb up the corporate ladder, you reach the D level or the C-suite, often than not, you will start to see men in white walking to your office one day, just like how the man in black works, right? And they'll tap on your shoulder and they say, you know what, my friend, it's time to serve the country. Right? And that's how our government pick the best brains to join the civil servant, join the public sector, right? Now, of course, for those who are bright enough, who doesn't join they choose to be a government civil servant, guess what? They will join the best company, the biggest names, right? Intel, Adidas, all right? Even the best startups like Airbnb, Facebook, etc., Google, right? So then you are left with the second class or the third class, right? Then where do these people want to work? Join a small company like yours. Probably they will, even if they were to join an MNC, even if they don't join an MNC, they will join an SME that's ideally listed, right? Listed on the stock exchange, right? So by the time the candidates that are remaining, right, are just a handful. All right, you may get a few oddballs where they are highly intelligent, they are highly successful in their career, academic education, yet they choose to be entrepreneurial. This group of people, they tend to have read Rich Dad Poor Dad early, they have been exposed to Anthony Robbins, they would have gone for some kind of a life transformation boot camp with Adam Khoo and things like that, right? Which is why they tend to think differently from the people on the mainstream. You do get such eagles along the way, but it's not easy to attract them. You need to also be an eagle to attract eagles, like attract like, right? So all in all, right, I want to conclude by saying this. If you can't make your agency and yourself more attractive online and offline, you have a significant disadvantage in recruitment. All right. Anyway, I love to support you more. Come for our leadership mentoring, and I'll be. And for those of you who are watching this, I can make it free for you. All right. I love to help the community. I love to support more leaders. So yeah, I look forward to see you in the upcoming leaders mentoring. Is that all right? Cool. And my time is up. Okay. Remember, recruitment is not a sales process; it's a selection process. Increase your ability to attract. And along with very powerful selection process, you are in the right direction to attract the best candidate to join your business. And as a result, you will emerge as one of the best agency leader in the industry, making a good 6-figure, if not 7-figure overriding. All right, look forward to support you. Have a good day. Bye-bye. Please remember to share with your friends.